In Japan, a taxi pulls up on the street on a day filled with sunlight and brightness. A mother and her children went out and admires a big house, believing that it's theirs, however got dissatisfied when it turned out to be smaller. A frail old male bows, and thanks to the movers then greets his family. They neglected him, so he consumed alone. His morning commute wasn't fantastic, and his boss scolded him for getting the quote incorrect for the 4th time. While strolling home late during the night, he comes across some punks bullying a salaryman. He backs away, but his child Mari was actually behind him and judged him for being a coward. Is alone again when he's approached by a lost canine. Just as they were getting along, his wife appeared and told him to get rid of it. She handed him his mail. It was his checkup result, and he has cancer. The next day, he went to the health center where the medical professional validated that it was already at phase 4. On his way out, he forgot his phone, and when he returned to get it, he overheard the doctor mention that he only has 3 months left to live. Back in the house, he attempted calling his family. However, they all neglected him. He attempted his finest to break the problem to them, but they do not desire anything to do with him. He opted for a walk with Hanako the dog and tried to leave her simply as his spouse asked him to do. However, Hanako went after Ichiro, which filled him with joy. Nearby, a nearby area experiences the unexpected look of a radiant lighting. Intrigued, both individuals make an effort to determine its source, just to be forcefully moved away by an unanticipated detonation. Faint shapes appear to be in movement as Ichiro struggles to maintain consciousness. In his haze, he views difficult images, short-lived bursts of brightness, his shattered spectacles, the noise of Hanako barking, and a short-lived series of system healing. Abruptly, Ichiro gains back awareness in the park and is joyfully welcomed by Hanako. Returning home, he endeavors to hide Hanako, resulting in a reprimand from his partner. Throughout breakfast, he understands a mysterious absence of taste. So thirsty, he drank directly from the faucet. Ashamed, Ichiro went directly to his space where Hanako was remaining. Steam started coming out of his hand. He eliminated his t-shirt and checked his arm, and a fingernail opened up. Ichiro was starting to stress when his whole arm opened. It appeared to be a weapon which discharged something before going back in his arm. The arm weapon spat out his breakfast earlier. He sat down to gather himself and saw a switch here, his jaw. Ichiro's head now opened to reveal cybernetic a sphere embellished with circles rotating around it recorded his attention. Analyzing himself in the mirror, he observed his arms extending external. Every lead character experienced a combination of astonishment and perplexity when, suddenly, his spouse unlocked. Nevertheless, he rapidly returned to his initial state simply in time. Within a dynamic classroom, a youth fixated his look upon the outside world through the window. Once class concluded, he paid a C to his good friend's residence and inquired if he had actually ventured outdoors that day. The boy, serving as a hero, beckoned his pal closer to display something. He mimicked the shape of a firearm with his hand and mimed firing at a bird, which appeared to have actually been struck and perished. They both went to the parking basement, and Hiro hacked the cars and trucks and made them crash. Like leading an orchestra, much to his pal's astonishment. Hiro then exposed that he's not human anymore, and that he's now a superhero. Ichiro went to work the next day, and was fired. However, he asked his boss for his job back. On his method out his work building, he discovered a passing away pigeon. He held it in his hand and found that he can recover it. The rejuvenated pigeon flew away, which made Ichiro grateful. A kid who was seriously ill experienced a complete recovery, which surprised both the mother and the physician. Hiro and his buddy Choco participated in school, where Choco immediately became the target of bullies. Hiro stepped in and made the bully ask forgiveness and return the stolen cash. Right when Hiro will damage him, Choco stepped in. Hiro's act of nerve impressed a schoolmate named Cheyenne, who then asked him out. On his journey back home, Hiro called his mom at her workplace to inform her that he wouldn't be seeing his daddy. Nevertheless, his mom contradicted him. Hiro's stepfamily and his mom are living a comfy life thanks to his monetary support. Nevertheless, Hiro himself feels neglected and begins to amuse negative ideas. Although he quickly ponders taking drastic measures, he eventually decides against it. While his enhanced hearing permits him to hear the sounds of pleased families in their homes, he pauses and picks one. Hiro enters their home and unfortunately takes the life of the daddy. Meanwhile, Ichiro is occupied with dealing with patients at the health center when he hears far-off weeps for assistance. Without hesitation, he instantly hurries out. Despite the child's plea for her life, Hiro ignores it and continues with his actions. He got here too late and was met a gruesome scene. The whole household had been brutally killed. As he approached, he was suddenly shot and sent out flying through the air by Hiro, who had devoted the heinous act. Despite his injuries, he managed to recover and give chase. However, Hiro had already left the scene. At some point later on, Hiro met Choco and handed over a large amount of money, which he had actually gotten through prohibited means by hacking a bank. Choco was frightened when he recognized that Hiro was the one accountable for the massacre and pleaded with him to stop his reign of horror. Nevertheless, Hiro had become delusional, seeing himself as an all-powerful deity above the law, and refused to listen to Choco's pleas. This left Choco feeling terrified and helpless. Hiro's mom admitted that she has cancer, which Hiro should just live with his daddy's family. However, Hiro outright declined and promises to cure her. At the Ichiro home, drama is unfolding. His child was caught taking while his daughter is more concentrated on illustration than her research studies. Ichiro's joblessness likewise came to light, and likewise his better half's adultery. His boy is actually being bullied at school, so Ichiro gave him money so he does not take any more. Feeling helpless to secure his household, he regretted in his room. His boosted hearing suddenly gets Choco's prayer for God to stop Hiro, given that he will kill again. With enough motivation, Ichiro is stimulated to action. Ichiro figured out how to fly. He shoots off while carrying Hanako to meet Choco. Choco was hoping and sitting by himself when Ichiro showed up. Ichiro remembered the night they were changed. Choco deduced that aliens need to have turned them into robotics. He then asked Ichiro to stop Hiro, which given that they have the very same body that he can operate the very same. So the training began. They attempted the finger weapon initially, however, Ichiro is having trouble doing it. Choco continued till he handled to somewhat shift the can. Hiro and his mom looked for a medical professional's guidance concerning her cancer, just to find out that it had vanished, recommending Hiro had actually treated her. While heading home, Hiro ensured his mom that they would live happily from that point forward. Nevertheless, they were obstructed by a law enforcement officer who wanted to question Hiro concerning the murders within their family. Hiro attempted to flee, however, was quickly overwhelmed by numerous officers, although he effortlessly pressed them all aside. But he eliminated them both. The chase all of a sudden turned violent, and he has no choice but to fly away and leave. Back in class, everyone is thrilled that Hiro is on the news as the suspect of the family murders, and now the 3 cops. Hiro was remotely listening in on the news when Shien found him. She took him home to hide him. Shien lives with her grandmother ever since both her parents died from an illness. At the same time, Ichiro can now do the finger guns. Exhausted from all the training, he takes a seat to have a drink. Pure water with no salt is in fact their power source. Choco discusses that they still have extra training to do, considering that Hiro can hack and move cars and trucks, but Ichiro had sufficient. Later on that evening, Mari discovered her papa with Choco and faces him concerning it. Choco just brushes her off and told her they fulfilled in an online game. On the news, Hiro's mommy is being pestered by the press and is being criticized for her boy's deeds. Hiro's stricken with despair on exactly how her life turned out. The internet is swamped with haters and giants who insult his mom. All of a sudden, a news flash came. Hiro's mom has actually devoted self-destruction. With tranquil rage, Hiro hounded the troll that released their home address. The troll believed that he was seeing things and laughed it off, yet Hiro eliminated him right away. He then informed every person on the chat room that he'll kill them all. He proceeded to kill them one at a time. Xian discovered a distraught Hiro by the kitchen area and intended to comfort him. He then revealed to her what he actually is, a device, and asks her if she'll still accept him. To better confirm this point, he took her and flew fast through the skies. However, her love towards him remains the exact same. They had a short, enchanting moment with each other before going back home. The following day, Hiro was remotely watching the news when he discovers Ichiro's deeds as the miracle male Recovery the Unwell. He then understands that there's an additional one like him. Later that night, they were assaulted by a large SWAT team. Hiro was barely able to get Sheen out of the hailstorm of bullets. Loaded with blind fury, he retaliated in kind. Blasting them with his finger weapons, the SWAT team all passed away. When it settled down, Hiro uncovers that Xian died from the gunfire. All alone once more, and with absolutely nothing left to lose, Hiro flew away and escaped. While enjoying TV, Ichiro found out about the unsuccessful arrest on Hiro. Mari is excited to go on her Tokyo day trip. However, Ichiro attempted to stop her from going because it wasn't risk-free. She declined, of course, and still went and met her good friends. While Mari and everyone is admiring the view, Hiro hacked into all the broadcasts. He starts to declare his war against the whole nation and that he's going to kill every person. He then starts shooting arbitrarily right into the group. Panic and riot after that followed as individuals competed their lives. As Hiro proceeded his rampage, Ichiro was able to hack the program back. Choco begged with everybody to shut off their phones and screens, since that's just how Hiro attacks. Each hero, in the meantime, is focusing intently. Choco's words were approved, and every person dumped their phones. Seeing that his plan no longer works, Hiro resorted to something else. Triggering his back weaponry, he releases a barrage of rockets. He then beautifully guided their targets. The rockets flew off and strike their targets. Unfortunately, among the targets was the structure Mari remained in. Ichiro came close to Hiro and pleaded with him to discontinue his activities. He emphasized their shared resemblances and advised Hiro not to utilize their powers for the function of murder. Nonetheless, Hiro continued to be unfaltering in his resolve to perform a genocide. In action, Ichiro discharged a shot at Hiro, prompting his anger. Hiro quickly flew, triggering Ichiro to seek him. Ichiro steered through the structures awkwardly, trying to run away from Hiro's pursuit. It became apparent that Hiro was much more skilled at flying than Ichiro. As they zoomed past the structures at high speed, Ichiro narrowly got away Hiro's rocket strike. However, it still left him reeling. As they sped via the city tunnel, their cars directly prevented hitting other cars and trucks. At the same time, Mari was caught in a building wreck, demanding assistance. Regardless of hearing her cries, Ichiro could not tremble Hiro, who was warm on his tail. Undeterred, Hiro continued to seek Ichiro, who eventually had to stop and capture his breath. Nevertheless, Hiro was already there, awaiting him. Ichiro was pushed with metropolitan frameworks and powerfully presented to a news helicopter by Hiro's kick. Regardless of the turmoil, Ichiro handled to save one traveler. However, Hiro's unrelenting attack resulted in the passenger's death. Ichiro begged with Hiro to stop his fierce activities and permit him to leave, pointing out the requirement to protect his child. As Ichiro prepared to charge with the beverage, Hiro lunged at him, taking the beverage for himself. Hiro then unleashed a barrage of homing missiles that directly missed out on Ichiro. Hiro goes after Ichiro as he gets away by air, continuing to introduce rockets at him. Ichiro rises higher and higher, trying to avert the projectiles till he finally reaches the outer limitations of the atmosphere. Hiro ultimately closes the range, ready to deliver the final blow, yet just as he does, his tool breakdowns, spraying water rather than bullets and causing him to cough uncontrollably. Ichiro had actually skillfully switched the components of Hiro's weapon with a sodium-based fluid, providing him immobilized. With Hiro compromised, Ichiro takes the opportunity to strike the final blow. A stunning blast took place as the rockets clashed, triggering Hiro to drop rapidly to the ground. Quickly, Ichiro competed to save Mari. In the middle of the wreckage, he discovered her and made futile attempts to restore her. As anxiety embed in, he remembered his power of recovery and efficiently restored her. In a heartfelt exchange between daddy and daughter, Ichiro was suddenly attacked. Remarkably, Hiro had handled to make it through and began nonchalantly taking the lives of the survivors who were battling in the middle of the debris. Just as he was about to fire Mari, Ichiro tackled him, yet Mari obtained fired. Currently, Ichiro is in for the battle of his life. With no weapons, both males participated in a ferocious hand-to-hand combat. Not able to safeguard himself, Ichiro was defeated and thrown around. Hiro mercilessly attacked Ichiro up until he lay there with his head hurt, with Mari watching in horror as she discovered the reality concerning her dad. As he lay there unable to shield Mari, Hiro consistently smashed him with a steel beam of light. Hiro, after that, grabs Mari and held her to the building's edge, all the while ridiculing Ichiro that he can't conserve anybody, not also his family. He goes down Mari, full of exemplary temper. Ichiro's core went into overdrive. His jets throttled to full power to save Mari. However, Hiro stepped in his method, meaning to strike him. Brave and empowered, Ichiro busts right via Hiro readily. Hiro's body lost in the exchange, and he collapses in midair. Ichiro accelerates to catch Mari at the last second, managed to save her using his abilities. Understanding that his child is now risk-free, he flies once again to save other people. After 1 week on the information, a cop's interview validates that Hiro is dead and that they are closing the situation. 2 investigatives are going over the conference and how it's a sham to maintain order since Hiro is still missing out on and just his parts have actually been located. At Ichiro's family, the entire family is having morning meal.
The newscaster is searching for the hero who saved the city and defeated Hiro. Mari gave him an understanding look. Choco entered his area to find Hiro taking a seat and reviewing comics. Hiro asked him if he's terrified. He said that he was, but he rejoices that his pal is alive. Choco then asked Hiro if he wanted to play a new computer game with him. However, when he reversed, Hiro was gone, and only an open window and the rustling of drapes stayed,